Good evening, everyone. It is January 28th, 2025, and the time is 6:02 p.m. I now call this meeting of the Urban Design Commission to order. Pursuant of Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting of the Urban Design Commission is conducted via remote participation. We'll make the remote recordings available upon request as soon as possible after the meeting. My name is Estella Reganet, and I am the co-chair for tonight's meeting, and we will start with a roll call of the commission members present. Frank Valdez,
Present.
Andrew Arba,
Present.
Deborah Fennick,
Present.
and Tim Talon.
Present.
Great. With four members present, we have quorum. And so let's see. Our first order of business is the approval of the December 10th, 2024 meeting minutes. Does anyone have any comments or notes that need correction on the December 10th meeting minutes? Great. I see no comments or edits. And can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 10th, 2024?
Motioned.
In a second.
Second.
Great. And we'll do a roll call vote for the approval of the meeting minutes. Frank,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
and Tim.
Yes.
With 4 votes, that motion is approved. And the next item on the agenda is the design review of 44 White Street. Let's see. I don't see the applicant, but are they coming, Lexi? Do you know?
Let
wait,
me
let me-
check. There's
Awesome. Great meeting, guys.
um
Good evening.
Perfect.
I don't know if that's how I
Hi, this
Yeah.
is Figurito. Narius from Calsa Design is our architect. I think he needs to be unmuted. I will mute myself, but he'll be presenting this evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
can.
Yes. And I just
Okay.
promoted you to panelist so you can share your screen when you're ready.
Sound good. Thank you. Good evening. It is from Calsa Design. S-
And before you get started, just a reminder that you have 20 minutes to present, followed by comments from the commission. So if you're ready and able to share screen, please go ahead and do so.
Okay. I think it's screen sharing is not turned on. That's where I get the message. Okay.
Is it working now? I just changed one of the okay.
Yes,
there
it
we
should
go.
be working now.
Thanks, Lexi.
Let me know if you can see it.
Yes, we can.
We can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you. So good evening again. We met only a few weeks ago, and thank you for your time again. So I'm not sure if I have to go through the same slides again. All the existing conditions. I think what I'll do, I'll jump directly into sort of like a differences slide and what we changed, and we can go from there. If anybody have any other questions related to either side of floor plans, we can jump back in. So just a quick view of what we so the option 3 was selected from the previous meeting at the top, and this improved option 3 on the bottom. I can quickly go into another next slide, sort of a front view. Here a few materials I added, actually, like a corner reglet, as was requested by Mr. Frank Valdez. We changed the garage door to solid door. We reduced the size or the depth of sort of like eyebrows on the base. We changed the railings from glass to sort of like what we have in the other options, so sort of like a metal. We have later you will see we explored a few options for that stairhead house, and we looked at the roof pergola as well, where we sort of we are proposing like maybe aluminum frame with aluminum with a wood imitation shading devices. I think you can see that pergola a little bit better from this view here. So then based on that, a couple of views from aerial view, rear view pretty much did not change, and then the front view as well. You see elevations, what was previously, and new elevations. And I also we show the product and quick detail of that base of the wall on the street side, where we propose T-clear, wall guard by T-clear. So you see the system and the look of it, what we are sort of envisioning to cover that continuous insulation, especially on the front facade, especially at the front where we have elevated first floor, the bottom of this elevation, and then turning the corners around. So those were quick changes. Floor plans again did not change. We have a couple of dimensions showing how far for projections on the base, which will have like 8 inches. We have 3-foot minimum clear balconies. You can see the pergola changed from typical wood to sort of aluminum frame with the shading devices, so sort of wood imitation shading devices. And that's pretty much it for from me today. If you have any other questions or comments, looking forward.
Thank you. Tim,
Thank you for the updates. One question, you talked about the projection at the floor line of the bays at level 2 and 3, that projection was reduced. And what was it and what is it now from the face of the bay?
Yeah, so I reduced it by 6 inches. We've been more than a foot projecting out here. So if you remember, let me see, actually, we might be able to see in this view with the size of the shadow line you see here, and on this revised view, so it reduced by 6 inches.
Okay. And so what is that dimension now from the face of the bay?
At the top, I have 8 inches.
So it's projecting out 8 inches.
8 inches, yeah.
Okay.
And I actually probably forgot to mention this. Here's a quick exploration of the elevator head house. Here's the dark to match the sort of the door and some window trims and this option we have a bronze color sort of to match the some of the floors, some of the elements of the cornices, and here we're matching the sort of khaki brown of this lap siding here at the front. So from here, I think we can vote again which one, if you like it, we'll move forward with that option.
I have a question about the roof plan.
Mhm.
And the green roof element. I don't know if, I apologize if we talked about it last time you were here, but I just looked more closely this time. I'm wondering you know, why the size. And I also wonder why it doesn't touch the patio.
It could, but the size mostly was was related to the green score, what was required. So we decided to, you know, we chose this location.
Yeah, I
based
guess
on
I'm
the
asking
solar
because
orientation.
it seems like it could be a benefit to the roof deck. And if it had a more intentional relationship with it, I think that could be interesting. And I just saw that my computer's unstable, so I hope you heard what I said. But anyway, it seems like it could have a more intentional relationship with the deck and be an amenity, you know, an added amenity for the deck. And it could be larger. I mean, I think you're sizing it to be the minimum, right?
I don't remember it's exactly minimum, but yeah, that's the sort of geometry we chose. Having clear space around it to walk.
And the other thing I had a question about was the garage door. I think I was the one who brought up that I thought having it glass didn't make sense. This feels this feels like the other extreme, pretty solid, and also sort of a single family residential, whereas I think it could be, yeah, a little bolder. But anyway, I was thinking, I was wondering if it could be a perforated metal, so that you did, you know, you could see, you know, you get a little air movement in there. You get a sense that there's, you know, of it being something different, but not just a solid. So, and at night you would get a little bit of light, you know, but it would be, you know, it would actually enhance the sidewalk. So anyway, that would be something I would. I was wondering if you looked at something like that.
We did not look at the perforated metal option, no, because I had the sense that you don't want to sort of see it into it or see the light coming through it.
A perforated metal, I don't think you would if the, you know, it depends on the openness of the perforated metal, but they're nice. They're a nice screen. They can be a very nice screen. That's it for my questions.
Thanks, Deborah. Tim, do you have any more?
Yeah, I concur with Deborah's comment about the green roof. That it feels like it is struggling to comply with some of those green roof ordinance, which above and beyond the green score requirements, requires that 80% of the roof that is not occupiable or used for mechanical equipment or stair towers, etc., is green roof. It could be something like Deborah said that enhances the experience of the roof deck. It would be quite nice if you were able to see those plantings from the ground that are up on the roof.
Thank you.
And one other comment, I'm not for the head house color. To be honest, I don't love any of the options. I wish it could be a lighter color, something that maybe go away a bit more. Maybe out of all of them, I feel like the one on the bottom might be the most, might make it blend in the most.
Which one did you mean? Which one did you say, Tim?
The one on the bottom, just carrying that same brown color up.
Is it coplanar with the face of the building, that recessed face,
No,
or is it set back?
it is not.
Yeah,
You
I
see,
like it distinct from the volume, the colors of the building. I was thinking it could have, it has more affinity with the sky than, the building. Or something like that.
Also, I mean, it's close enough to the
Yeah,
front
you're
facade
gonna
that
see it.
you're gonna see it, and it's
Yeah.
also a little weird that it's not parallel to front
Yeah.
facade too. It just feels like something that's left over. There's a building that this firm designed under construction on Medford Street near Washington Street. I think it's a 4-story building, but it has a rather large elevator overrun. It's clad in a dark panel, and it sticks out a bit. Yeah, I mean, it's set back from the facade, so it's not quite the same issue as this. But it's cladding it with the charcoal, with the dark. It's pretty apparent.
Is it possible to vote on one of the options? Still, we can and maybe move forward with the preferred one.
What if it was clad in the lighter color? I'm not sure if that's the right solution, but the same lap siding is cladding the base at the base of the building.
Committee thoughts on that?
Or is there an intermediate color? It's, it being the same color as either the brick. That's not a brick. I can't tell from my little screen. Or is it a brick? The brown color. Anyway, I think the brown color, it starts to make a figure, it starts to read with the building below. And I think it's sort of nicer as a clean, it would be nicer if it were set back, but I'm not suggesting it should be set back, but it wants to go away and not start to become a part of the composition of the facade. And I'm afraid using either one of those. But did you have a copper color that was sort of between the two, as a trim?
We had a bronze. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, no, I was going to suggest, Deborah
Mhm.
and Tim, what are your thoughts about the fact that maybe it detaches itself from the rest of the building and maybe incorporates itself with the pergola, and the idea that you have this feature already there and the two are disconnected, and maybe the two can work together. Maybe the idea of connecting the pergola architecturally with the stair material wise, maybe it creates an element in itself that is independent of the rest. And I don't know what the materiality would be, but that instead of two separate elements, maybe it becomes somehow it becomes more of it. I mean, because it's a big volume at the top, and maybe the idea of looking at how the wood of the pergola and that creates more of an architectural component if both work together.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. So my opinion as well was to have it sort of top as a separate element. So I think in those other two options, we starting to sort of messing with the verticality of those either base or the massing behind those base. And our preferred sort of option was always this sort of dark piece at the top, like from this view, street view, street perspective, it's sort of connected to, you know, pergola.
Which is the pergola is steel, it's steel frame with wood slats, is that?
Those slats might be just like imitation of wood, but still be,
Mhm.
you know, probably aluminum,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
would
Frank,
be same color.
It
Yeah,
might be
sorry.
the angle that you're showing it. The bottom left is just a really weird angle, but the upper right incorporates the two. I see the metal of the pergola incorporating into the stair, and it's just a better angle. Maybe it's just an angle.
I'm like, yeah, maybe it's that dark color, like the pergola. Yeah, and Frank, I like your idea. Maybe it distinguishes itself because it's specular, and it would also be a little more dynamic. You know, so if it were a metal that was somewhat specular, that dark color. You know, and this the other metal elements of the pergola are the same color.
You mean like wood like whatever we choose, cedar? Are we talking about shading devices versus the dark color of the pergola?
I think that, yeah, Frank, is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, that's kind of like what I
Yeah.
was trying to head to. And the other thing that I think that Deborah, you mentioned it last time. I think that we were trying to go away from the glass, right, and the balconies. As well. So, am I correct on that observation from last time?
Get rid of the glass, you said?
Yeah, the balconies, I think I don't know, are the balconies still showing glass as a railing?
No,
No, they're not. It looks
no.
like glass, I guess, from that rendering. What is it?
It's just metal with a horizontal, yeah, cable.
It looks like glass. I would love to see what that material is.
Maybe another view shows better look.
Yeah, it looks like it's transparent.
Yeah, there you go. It's just
It's just a cable
the cable.
railing.
You know, I think the way Frank described it, integrating the stairhead house and the trellis, makes a lot of sense. And maybe that darker color, if it is, if there is materiality, similarity between those two, maybe that makes sense. I almost wish that the horizontality of that beam could engage the stairhead house somehow, the verticality of that in the same way as your balconies are kind of running past the bays. If there was a way that horizontal could engage the stairhead house and capture it. So it's maybe our guidance here to integrate, to better integrate the stairhead house and the trellis, and that. Yeah.
I could keep my comments quick and we can move on. Same comment on the green roof. It should be thought of as something that's an amenity, not just checking the green square box, which is all it's doing at the moment. And then I would advocate for the inclusion of a street tree at the ground level. But that said, I know that PSEF will be reviewing this as well, and will be doing that level of advocacy for me. And that's about it.
Thanks, Andrew. Any more comments from the commission? Nope, I see a lot of shaking heads.
I'll just make one additional comment, just this can be additional design guidance. I suggest integrating snow guards into the projecting band that's running past the bays.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
So that projecting band that is running through the bays, that 8-inch band, I'm still a little concerned. So that's going to be sloped. Yeah, there you go, 8 inches to drain off onto the sidewalk. It's deep enough. It's still deep enough where snow could collect. So I just suggest, putting some buttons up there, some snow guards.
Mhm. Okay.
Because it's inaccessible. You can never get there to kind of clear it off. I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we
Let's
could
go.
All
Let's vote
right.
on something.
Great. Thank you, KDI, for coming and presenting again. But I think this ends our meeting.
I think we need to make I'll
Yeah,
make a motion.
a motion to close.
Well, no, I'll make a
Have
motion
to
that
vote.
satisfies the design guidelines, and then we'll vote on additional design guidance.
So can you repeat that? A motion, there's a motion to,
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that design as presented with the additional design guidance that we provided meets the design guidelines of the Somerville zoning ordinance.
Seconded.
Tim.
great. Third, that you said, Frank?
No, I said go Tim.
Um, and so with that, we will do a roll call vote. Frank,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
and Tim.
Yes.
Great. So that motion is approved. So as presented with the additional design guidance, that this all meets the design guidelines of the Somerville SCO.
And then we have to take a vote on the additional design guidance, but typically we'll review a list of what those items are first before taking the vote.
Design guide. Okay, so let me see. So the list of additional design guidelines includes, let's see, the color of the, or a question about the garage door and looking at other options for the paneling and looking at perforations. The green roof, making sure that the green roof not only complies with the ordinance, but is part of and is experienced as an amenity for the residents. The next
Isn't it?
is, yes, Deborah.
Oh, and it's an enhancement to the roof.
An enhancement to the roof, thank you. And then the third additional design guideline is the integrating the head house to make it more in line with the trellis and figuring out a color for that scheme. And then the fourth is integrating the, what is it, snowbirds with the projecting bands that run through the bays.
Yeah, snow guards.
And so can I get a motion to approve those additional design guidelines?
Motion.
And a second? Great, thanks, Frank.
Second.
Second. And with that, we will do a roll call vote to approve the additional design guidelines. Frank,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Deborah,
Yes.
and Tim.
Yes.
And with 4 votes, that motion is also approved. And I think that is it for our guests from KDI. Thank you for joining us.
There's a raised hand, excuse me, sorry.
Yes,
There's a
Anne.
raised hand by, yeah, our attorney. I think she wants a word.
It's been raised the whole time.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry, I just noticed. Okay, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
And I believe that was everything on tonight's agenda. Can I make a motion to, or can someone make a motion to close this meeting?
Yeah, just before we close, I'll make a note that I've sent a list of some additional agenda items that I'd like to see on the next agenda. If everyone can make sure that those get added to the next agenda, that would be great.
Seconded.
Yes. Seconded that, or the
Whatever. Throw it at anything.
seconded, but a motion to close the meeting? Or
So
can someone
motion.
make that motion?
Motion to go home.
And a second?
Second.
Do we need to vote on that, or?
You need to do a roll call.
Yeah, a roll call vote for motion to close the meeting. Frank. We didn't hear you, but I think
We felt the yes.
we felt yes. Andrew.
Yes.
Deborah. And Tim.
Yes.
So this meeting is adjourned at 6:35 p.m. Thanks, everyone.
Record time, guys. Love it.
Bye. Have
Let's
a
see.
good night.
Actually, we can turn the recording off now.
Good night.
Okay. Night.